In Washington, along with international affairs analysts and others, say Iran was behind this murderous Hamas attack on Israel. Congressional Republicans were reportedly very unhappy with the briefing by the Biden administration officials Wednesday. Axios reporting officials from the State and Defense Department said they had no direct evidence of Iran's involvement in the planning of the attack, something one Republican called unbelievable. But National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said the administration's assessment of Iran's involvement could change in the days ahead. In an interview with CBN's David Brody on Real America's Voice, former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo made clear he believes Iran is definitely involved.
Make no mistake, this isn't just Hamas. I think the Biden administration wants to pawn this off of just saying, oh, this was a bunch of knuckleheads in the Gaza Strip. Not true. This is the Iranian regime. Directed, funded, green-lighted. You pick your verb. Make no mistake, this is the Iranian regime seeking to wipe Israel off the face of the earth, killing Jews in ways that hasn't happened in decades and decades. The responsibility that the Israeli leadership has to defend its own people. This is an American challenge, not just an Israeli challenge, and we need to meet the moment.
Mike Pompeo, what does that mean specifically when it comes to Iran and specifically to America's involvement in what looks like is going to be a long, bloody war? And obviously, if Hezbollah gets involved in the north, that changes the calculus even more. What does American involvement look like? And I know that is a bit hypothetical, and we don't know exactly what's coming. But this is more than just sending $4 billion or so, $3.8 billion a year to Israel at this point. What does America need to do in this moment right here, specifically regarding Iran? They cannot get away with this stuff.
David, you're right. America's involvement begins with something that I pray that the Biden administration could do, acknowledging that their policies have failed. This is the responsibility of Hamas and the terrorists. This is directed by the Islamic Republic of Iran. But the Biden administration's Iran policy has set the conditions for this. Not just $6 billion for hostages, not just $230 million to the Palestinian Authority so they could kill more people in Israel while paying the slayers of those murderers. They failed to enforce the basic sanctions, $20, $30, $40 billion to the Iranian regime in just 2.5 years by being able to sell crude oil around the world. So what does it look like? America should go back to the set of policies that deny Iran the capacity to do precisely what they did on October 7th. Take away their money, impose sanctions on the leadership, deny them the capacity to inflict this terror around the world, isolate them. Build out relationships with our friends and allies in the Gulf Arab states, create peace and prosperity in the region, and push back, protect the Iranian people as well from the horrible, horrible predations that have been put upon them by the Ayatollah and President Raisi.
What is it going to mean for Gaza specifically? They're going to obviously go into Gaza. They're going into Gaza. This is not just obliterating Hamas. This has to do with specifically controlling on the ground what's happening in Gaza. How do you see that? This is going to change the Middle East forever.
Oh, undoubtedly, David. I still don't think the world has fully taken on board the scale of what took place on October 7th and what that means for the world. As for Gaza, we know the history. The Israelis did what the world demanded of them. They withdrew from the Gaza Strip in 2005. Give the Palestinians a state, and you see what they did. They put the terrorists in charge. They harmed not only the Palestinians and the Arabs living there, but they've now inflicted enormous pain on the nation of Israel as well. I think the Israelis will do exactly what they need to do. They will eliminate this threat in ways that they've not done when previous attacks took place. I pray only this, David. Your point's right. This is going to take weeks and weeks and weeks. The United Nations, other countries around the world will immediately begin to demand that Israel stop, they cease fire, they back off. Israel needs to be permitted to do the tasks it views in its own national interest to protect and defend its own people. And the United States needs to not direct them to stand down, as as Secretary Blinken's tweet now removed did, or as the tweet from the Palestinian office, the U.S. Palestinian office there did in the immediate aftermath of the attacks. We need to simply say to the Israelis, tell us what it is you need so that you can protect your own people and protect Americans that are living in the region as well.